Hey everyone, it's Catherine. So I just wanted to bring to you, I'm having a really good day. So I'm like, let's do this. I'm really excited. So let's do it. I'm so excited. So I want to talk to you. I can actually like do all of this. And so I was like, what am I going to do? Like I have not yet, since I've begun filming, I have not yet had a day like this, like actually like this good of a day. And I was like, what am I going to do with it? So I decided to do this with it, of all things. So actually I'm going to film two videos. So and one will be serious, I guess, and then one will be this, which I still think is important and serious. So as the title says, free makeup. So, and you're like, Clinique's not free. What am I talking about? So I am kind of ticked actually at the YouTube community, to be honest, because this is free makeup. Like I'm going to tell you why. So I was on YouTube, and when I started YouTube was a community where, when, like I said, back in 2011, I mean, YouTube was relatively new back then. I mean, if you look at Wayne Goss's videos back then, and even Nikki Tutorials videos back then, I mean, man, we were like really the basic stages, right? So, but the fact of the matter is that if you went into any store and looked up a product, like, you could grab a product and then pretty much go on YouTube and then look up a review of it, because I knew not to trust the reviews on a website. Like everyone was noticing during the Moschino Sephora review, they're pointing out the fact that people are leaving their bad reviews on Sephora, but it wasn't registering in the reviews. And I'm like, yeah, like Sephora's not stupid. Like they can alter the reviews. They don't have to register all the bad reviews. If it's going to affect sales, they're not going to actually have those sales. And Amazon does the same thing, and they filter it out, and Yelp does the same thing. And so that's what I loved about YouTube, is that, you know, they had honest reviews from real people, and real people giving their reviews about what they really thought about makeup. And so anywhere I went, I could just grab a product and be like, okay, I like it, but does it last a long time? And what do people think? And I found great products on there. Like I found the Garnier BB cream on there, which I loved and used, and then they changed the formula like so many people do, and now it just oxidizes and it's total crap, and that was so disappointing. So, but that was a lifesaver for a long time. And now I use the CoverGirl BB cream, which is amazing, and it has SPF, but it's like $4. So yeah, if I need a BB cream, that's the one I use. But if I could afford it, I would do Clinique. But at the time, back in the beginning, I still trusted, as time went on, I was still spending my money according to what all these beauty gurus, as time went on, I got to trust YouTube more and more. But the thing is that sponsorships crept in, and they weren't following the FTC guidelines. And I think what's interesting is I'm noticing that people on Twitter are saying, oh, like I'm noticing sponsored videos, and they're not saying that they're ads. And the thing is that it's been in our community way longer than we think. And the reason I know that is this Clinique. Clinique is the reason I know this. And I'm really ticked because I found out about it like right before I like crashed and burned, and my health just went completely to crap, and I couldn't get out of bed anymore. But for a good period of time there, for about 2 years, and my makeup tables, like that's why I have so much makeup, is because like for a good 2 years, like of this 7 years period, all of my expendable income was going towards makeup. Like that's all I could do. Like when I could go out shopping, like I couldn't go dancing anymore. I couldn't do anything anymore. So when we went out on road trips, the only thing I could do, I got into makeup, and all I did was put all of my expendable income towards makeup. Like that's all of our expendable income went towards makeup, and that was it. And I thought that I was putting it towards like the best makeup because I was trusting these beauty gurus. And this was 5 years ago. Like I was listening to Jaclyn Hill, and I was listening to Nikki Tutorials 5 years ago, because I thought, oh, they would tell us, right? They would tell us if there's a good deal out there. And then I had to find out at a makeup counter when I was looking, because remember they were all doing MAC and everything. Remember when MAC was big? Notice we don't hear about MAC anymore. Why do you think that is? Do you think that's because MAC's quality has gone down? No, it's because MAC doesn't do sponsorships. Like, MAC refuses to do sponsorships, and suddenly they're like, poof, gone from YouTube. Like, it's just gone. And so now we suddenly don't hear about them anymore. Anyway, so here is what I mean by Clinique and free makeup. Like, so basically, I was getting sick and tired of MAC Cosmetics myself. Like, their makeup just went crappy. Like, I used to be dedicated to them. Like I said, I used to not wear a lot of makeup, but when I started competing at the championship level for my dancing, I remember, and I opened up a ballroom studio. You guys didn't know that about me, but I used to own a storefront. I used to own a ballroom studio. And I was like, crap, I own a ballroom studio and I better get some real makeup. And so I just went to MAC Cosmetics calendar because that's where I knew my friends went. And so I just went and I said, okay, give me like a casual look and give me a dramatic look. And they just gave me the makeup, and I sat with that bag for the next 10 years. And that is the makeup bag that I kept with me, which is why I tell you, like, expired products, like, that's a new thing. Like, my mother, and you'll see it if you look in old movies, like, I'll have to share those movies with you later in the movie Fridays, but like, they hold on. There's a reason they used to make, like, Estee Lauder and everybody used to make lipstick products in the metal cases because they held on to them forever. Like, when you bought a lipstick, it was your lipstick for life. So I have MAC lipsticks that are now 15 years old, and they perform better than the MAC lipsticks I buy today. Like, I'm going to be doing swatches for you, and I'll show you. They perform better. Way better. Even their powders perform better. And though I don't use those powders anymore, but I feel them and they feel like today's Chanel's powders. And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. Anyway, that's a side topic. So anyway, I was like, that's it. The MAC stuff was all crap. And I was like, that's it. I can't, I was trying to replace products that I had run out of, empties, now that I was wearing makeup more often because, you know, I was looking so crappy and everything like that. And I was like, wow, all of this stuff is just not performing. I ended up returning it so often. You know, it couldn't conceal my under eyes. They would tell me it could, and then it wouldn't, and it would oxidize and blah, blah, blah. So finally, one day, I remember it was actually, I think it was during the Cinderella launch, actually. It was during the Cinderella launch, and there was a long line of makeup, and I decided to let the line die down. And I went and sat at the Clinique counter and just waited for the line to die down. Like, I got what I wanted, then I was like, let everybody else go ahead and get what they wanted, and I'll just sit at this Clinique counter. But because MAC had been so crappy, I was like, okay, let me see what they got. And I was like, this stuff looks familiar. Like, it looks really, really familiar. Long story short, oh my God, like, it's what my mother used, like, when she grew up. Like, this stuff, like, this is the skin. These are the 3 steps. Like, if you look into it, you'll find out, like, almost all of our mothers, like, grew up on it. And, like, if you look at it, like, Elle from Legally Blonde, like, that's the stuff that she used and things like that. Like, it's just kind of like the basics. It's historic. Also, not only is it the basics, there's like a 3-step skincare system. And I remember my skin went through so much hell because of all of the meds that I was on, and it like completely restored my system. Now, I had great skin to begin with, and I know all the skincare systems I had tried before that always messed up my skin, like made it worse than it was already. And then when I went to this stuff, like, and then I had it messed up with medications, but I was really hesitant. But then I was like, my mother was on it, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I'll give it a try. And oh my God, like, it completely made it better than it was before. And I was like, not only did it not mess up my skin, but it made it even better and made it better than it was before the meds. And nothing had ever done that before. No irritation when my skin broke out at everything, you guys. Not only that, but I couldn't believe how inexpensive it was. Inexpensive. Like, the whole thing, I think, cost me $30 for all 3 things, you guys. Not only that, so there's a 3-step system, these 3 things. Not only that, but if you go in there, this little moisturizer, you guys, it's the #1 selling moisturizer in all department stores. Have you heard that from any of our beauty gurus on YouTube? Have any of them ever told you about this little guy? And by the way, when you go online onto YouTube and you look up Clinique girls, how do they look? Do they look good and young and fresh and everything like that? That's right. They look amazing. Like, they look young and fresh. And when we're all complaining about, oh my gosh, like there's nothing out there for us light-skinned girls. And I'm like, every single color that Clinique had looked amazing on me. And they are, I don't know if they always had things for darker skins. And I don't know. I can't speak to that. I am so sorry. I have not looked into that for that because I am not a beauty guru. And I am not healthy all the time. All I know is that very shortly after the Cinderella launch, or right in there, or in the mess of it, or whatever, the Cinderella launch is the last time I was at a department store buying any kind of limited edition thing. Like, that was it. Like, that's the last time I remember ever buying anything with makeup heavy duty. And maybe that was part of it. Maybe that just broke the spell for me, because I found Clinique, and then not only that, so I bought some things. Here's the thing that's going to blow your mind. I bought some things, and you're like, well, where's the free makeup in it? $25 got me a free gift. Let me repeat that again. A $25 purchase. Oh, my hair. Sorry. I know this is like the best my hair gets, right? Like, this is for me, this is fancy hair, you guys. Like, this is fancy hair for me. And as far as YouTube goes, you're like, it looks like a disaster. But for me, like in real life, I'm like, oh, this is fancy. I feel so pretty today. I feel so happy, so pretty, because I'm moving and I get to wear this shirt that I never get to wear. I'm just in a good mood. I'm very happy because I'm moving and I never get to move, you guys. And I get to wear lipstick. I'm just happy. Anyway, so let me tell you about this. Like, let me tell you about it. I couldn't believe it. Like, my jaw dropped to the floor. Like, I couldn't believe it. Not only were their prices amazing, but then they give me this free gift for a $25 purchase. And you know what the free gift? Like, I think I was watching a video where someone was like, I finally hit $300 on Sephora, and they gave them a blush this big. For $25, they gave me 2 full-size lipsticks. Like, I think they gave me a full, look at this. This is a full freaking size lipstick, you guys. Clinique gives you a full, and it's a real lipstick. It's a matte lipstick. And you can choose, they have 2 different gifts you can choose from. Like, they have a big bag, another big bag. You get choose which bag you like, because it's 2 different color schemes. Like, if you're warm or if you're cool, and you just pick what you want. Then they give you another in the gift. You get to pick, boom. Look at that. And then, this is what really pissed me off. Like, this is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. Like, they give you this eyeshadow palette that's freaking, like, look, if you put it next to it, like, you can see, like, this is a full-size lipstick. It's a big palette. Like, it's a big palette. And I was like, you're giving me a freaking full-size palette that I can take around with me. Like, I felt like I had just spent $50 on this. I just wore myself out. Like, I need to use this to brace me. I'm like, so I feel like I just spent like, what was it? $42 on like a 6 eyeshadow palette for the Cinderella. And then here they go and give me a free eyeshadow palette that I can carry around with me, the same thing. And then I got home and I tried it out and I was like I couldn't believe the formula. Like, I went tap, tap, dab, and I was like, holy crap. They were like, the pigments were so beyond max eyeshadows. Like, I waited like 2 years or something until the final price drop on that the cool toned palette. You know how max eyeshadows have just dropped in quality. And like, you can't get any pigment off their eyeshadows anymore. And then I just touch these and it's just like, boom. And they last me like through an entire night of dancing. There's no primer on here. I'm not wearing primer. Like, I'm not wearing primer. And you know me, I barely put on any eyeshadow. Like, this is barely any eyeshadow. Like, I'm just like, whatever. And I saw that and I just was like, I felt so lied to. And of course there was other stuff in it. Like you can get, like other things came in it, like these little things. This is famous, like their eye makeup remover is super famous. You may have already heard about it because it's finally getting out there because now it's in Ulta. Like, why go to department stores? Guys, like, we didn't need Sephora and Ulta. There was a time Sephora and Ulta are relatively new concepts. And I remember when they came out, I remember being like, what the hell are these around for? Because department stores had so much to offer, and then drugstores had so much to offer. And when I went into Sephora, I remember thinking, all of this stuff is just... all of this stuff is like they're just the carts that are in malls. They're just really expensive, like specialized products, but they're just fads. Like it's just stuff to get. It just felt like a bunch of QVC products. And lo and behold, that's exactly how they're sold on YouTube, just like QVC products. And people are like, every time they come out with a new line, people are like, oh, they've improved the formula. And I'm just like, they haven't improved the formula. They just keep, they already know what works. They don't use what works because it brings you back for more. And that's what's great about Clinique is they use what works, they know what works, and they bring it out. For example, like these lipsticks, like these Colourpop, like these Pop of Color lipsticks, they're insane, you guys. Like they last forever. Like they're a lipstick and primer in one, and they last forever. And I just got so upset. And they're under $20. I think these are like $16 and they last forever. They last forever. And they're amazing, vibrant colors, and every single one looks good, and they're just amazing. And and let me tell you right now, because you're going to be like, oh no, I heard that they have alcohol in them or whatever, the skincare. No, go watch Wayne Goss's review video. Like go, because it's the original skincare line. By the way, did I mention that? It's the original, is the very first skincare line put out in department stores, like made by a dermatologist that was like, why don't we do a skincare line for all women that women can use? And they have a bunch of different kinds. They'll test out your skin and see which one's good for you. And Wayne Goss was like, fine, I'll do a review because everyone says these aren't good. And then he went and tried it and he was like, oh my God, it doesn't make any sense. But it even cleared up my dry patches behind my skin, behind my ears that nothing's been able to solve. And he's like, I don't know how it works, but it worked. Go, I'll link it below. I'll link it for you. And it just shattered everything for me. It really just shattered the whole entire beauty community for me online. And I just stopped trusting everything. And I think at that point, that's when my instinct, once I found out that they were handing out free huge gifts, because the next time I went back to Clinique, I didn't know a free gift was going on. And I bought my normal skincare. Like I had done the testing of skincare, and I had tried out samples or something, and I was like, all right, I like it, I want to get it, or something, or I had just tried out one thing. So whatever it is, I went back and, oh, that's right, their mascara. I don't know. I went back and I purchased $50 worth, which you guys know is like one palette from Sephora. How often do you spend $50 worth? And they were like, so you get 2 gifts. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, you get 2 gifts. Do you want 2 of one bag, or do you want both bags, or what do you want? And I was just like, I was so blown away, you guys. They gave me free makeup. So I had 2 free lipsticks, I had 2 palettes, and ton of free, like carrying around, like I now have like travel size of the moisturizer to take with me when I go to hospitals, you guys. And not only that, look at that. If you can't afford it, let me tell you even better. It even gets better. Let me blow your minds even more. Let me ask you this. How many of these beauty gurus have told you about the cosmetics company? Oh, I'm listening. How many? God, I didn't even put on earrings today. God, I think I'm wearing myself out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the second video. All right. I'm going to try. I'm going to need to get a share for that. Cosmetics company. How many beauty gurus have told you about the cosmetics company? Crickets. Crickets, right? Nobody. You're like, what the hell is the cosmetics company? The cosmetics company is when you go to an outlet or you go, just look up the cosmetics company. It is Estee Lauder's outlet store where they sell MAC cosmetics. Estee Lauder, including double wear, including their famous nightwear, including their fragrances, including their night cream, that one that's like $80. That includes Bobbi Brown, every single one of their cosmetics line. Oh, I'm going to blow your mind. Smashbox. That's right. Smashbox is there. They have everything, including Clinique skincare lines. You go there and you get it at a discount. You can get it half off sometimes, and it's just sitting there. So I would go there instead of over there. Like, I'd be like, oh, they're the same distance from where I am, so I just go to the cosmetics company. Like, that's what I was doing for my MAC when I was in California. I didn't know there was a cosmetics company around because no one told me about it, and I found it out in my last 6 months when I was in California. I found out there was one 3 blocks from where I lived, and I had been on YouTube for freaking 3 years. I was so pissed. And I found out I could get my dainty for 16 bucks, a $36 blush. All right, I'm not going to cry. I'm just saying, for those of us who are disabled or on a budget, that little bit of a tip is helpful to us, don't you think? And you don't think somebody's figured that out on YouTube? You don't think someone could have said something? And you don't think someone knows that Clinique is giving out free makeup, a free gift? I'm just saying, and not only that, you guys, the makeup's amazing. So, okay, I'm done with my ranting and I'm done with my raving. I'm just saying that if you enjoy free makeup, if you enjoy free makeup, if you enjoy makeup that works the first time around, like every once in a while they do launches because they're figuring out that you guys love, they're trying to survive. Because Sephora and Ulta are doing so well that they're not doing so well. Everyone's going to them and they're losing out customers. Like their generation of people, like they're dying off. And I'm just like, oh my God, like you guys go to them. Like they're handing out free makeup. Like they're not giving that up. Like I looked up like at Dillard's or something. Like I was trying to find out like what's upcoming for you guys. Because you can look up when the gifts are coming. And like one that's coming up in September or something like that, they're giving out a 7-piece, like with a $60 purchase, 7 pieces of free makeup. 7 items. 7. And Sephora gives you a blush this big for spending $300 to $500. So do you see what I'm saying here? Like, do you get it? Like which one's like scamming you, which one's a baiter, and which one isn't? So I'm just saying, for those of you who like their money, and for those of you who love their money, and for those of you who are on a tight budget, you know, Clinique might be a way to go. Just saying. And for those of you who noticed that I had Chanel, yeah, that's right. I figured out the hard way. Like that Chanel came at the very freaking end. And I finally figured out that instead of spending my money on like, I started figuring out it cost me $60 of Colourpop to find out that one thing looked good on me. Like I figured last Kathleen Light, she did her favorites, and I bought all these favorites thinking they'd be amazing, and they were all the freaking same color. And I was like, one looks good on me. And I was like, that's it. I'm ending this. And instead, I go and I get one foundation that looks good on me, lasts forever, that I can test in a store. I can return if I want to. Get good customer service. If I want to change the shade, I can. And you know what else? The best part is, it'll always be there. It will always be there. And you know what? It never oxidizes. So it took me 7 years. It took me this long to figure out to just go to a department store. And just, I don't bother with Ulta and Sephora anymore, you guys. Like, I have that stuff left over. But it took me 7 long years and thousands of dollars on makeup to finally figure out that it's at the department stores. And if I had the money nowadays, I would just stick with Clinique and just do my foundation. I need the Chanel for dancing, and especially now that I'm going to try doing certain things with the life coaching, you know, that's going to be important. And it depends on the job that you're doing. If you have a job where you're going to be, you know what I mean, that's a whole nother subject. But you go middle of the ways, you go to Sephora, you spend $45 on a foundation, that's iffy. It'll never perform. And I'm like, there are drugstore ones that perform better. You can do $4.90. That's what I do nowadays. I either do drugstore, I either do a $5, like I said, a $4 BB cream, or I do Chanel. I never do anything in between anymore, you guys. I just don't. All right, I better stop ranting so I have time to do, well, not time, but energy. You know what I mean? So anyway, I love you guys, and I love you, and I just hope, I guess... Yeah, I do have a right to be upset because they're not saying their ads. They're not saying, hey, I'm being paid $200K. $200K is 4 times, like, I'm not being paid, not $200K. They're making, like, you know, if you add all that up, that's like $20 million a year, right? And they're not following the rules. They're not following the law, and they've been doing it for 5 years now. So yeah, like, I have every right to be angry, right? And I know that society doesn't say women can be angry anymore, but I have every right to be upset about that because I've lost thousands trusting and believing them. They got me. They got me good. But I'm hoping that I can spare some of you guys that pain. Go spend 25 bucks because they do have some coming up where $25 gets you a free gift. Those are upcoming too in September. I highly suggest that you try it. That's all I'm saying. And hopefully I can spare you guys some of that pain. I really do. I'm just passing along. If you don't want to listen, don't listen. It's your prerogative. Like, I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. It's totally your choice. So, but I'm just saying for my part, I know that I just wasted thousands. And I'm glad I found this. I just wish someone had told me at the beginning. Peace out, guys.